Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill. Feel it, do 'em. Computer board. Computer board. The sand was loaded up with blood. A lot of that sand is going to be loaded up with peace. Computer board. When they gaze upon Yosemites, people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup. Michigan gave us Motown, gave us the Mustang. Wildlife refuges, I mean, you look at this, you look at what we do with our wildlife.
I can tell you're a genuinely dirty person.
How you guys doing? I just can't help but like Caddyshack Gopher dance to this song. That's what you gotta do. Oh yes. Come on, everybody. Hey, all right. Yeah, and that was it. Hey, I felt the timing on it that time. I do look a little Trump orange. I'm sorry. I changed the lighting in here. I apologize, but I will say that everything is generally in the same color scheme. Yes? Arms, same color as face. That kind of, subscribing! Yay, subscribers and bits and things and cheers and thank you. And welcome everyone on Facebook if I dare. Do I dare welcome the Facebook people? Do we? Do we really, you folks? Bless your hearts. Criminy. I mean, I didn't put I didn't put Trump's name in the title, so we should be free of some of the more egregious dictators out there. Let's see. I'm going to do protect must have an account that's at least 2 weeks old, and then on the only followers. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. Something like that. Yeah. Go to Halsparks.live if you want to donate to the channel. There's going to be eventually there'll be a little thing up there that says donate because it'll work. I think. Maybe. I'm working on it, okay? Everything is a shambles. Every time I start to put stuff together here, I have to take something apart to do it. And the amount of wires... Criminy. The amount of wires going on in here. Can't stop lying. I think you're the only person I know. Maybe Rob Glenn as well. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Rob too. Can like look at all the mangled wires and go, this is a meditation. I must sit and contemplate the best electrical information and an Ethernet path for all these things. And I will consider them. And I will sit on the floor staring under my desk for half an hour, and then I will attack it. Hold on, wait, I don't even have it here. I will attack it with a shit ton of these things, these little Velcro zip tie things, right? And where's the other thing? Hold on, It's over here. Did I use it? Where is it? Oh, no, it's right behind me. This dude. I love this thing. This is not an advertisement. This is just true. This thing where you can, but you got to be sure. This is like doing a crossword puzzle in ink. You cannot, you know what I mean? You can't just jump right in with this sucker. Yes, recognize Facebook followers. We are a family of 5 with 1 income, so I can't support like I would want to. Connie, I appreciate it. Fear not. I only joke about that. Don't take it personally over at Facebook. It's not your fault you live in a bad neighborhood. It is okay. Facebook is, you know, is the Craigslist of the classified ads of an old newspaper in a bum's shoe in an old 80s cop movie. So, good luck learning to speak Russian. Anyway, so yeah, so this guy, I just started running the Ethernet cables in this room for this to lock in the computer, because I'm like, okay, this is the position. This is where we're building. This is gonna be it. And yeah, there's a lot to it, but there we go. Once I start traveling back home, I'm gonna have to switch over to Facebook. God help me. Oh yeah, don't worry about it, Chachens. We'll find you. Don't worry. We'll look out for you. We'll keep an eye out. I always want to shower after visiting Craigslist. It does feel like, you know, if you're going through the internet and you stumble upon a Craigslist posting or whatever, it does feel like you're standing in the middle of a street, you know, middle of the night, no traffic, stray dog just kind of runs across, newspaper, you know, kind of Trump's hair blows through. Oh, it was not detected. That's weird. I did not detect it. It's in there. What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, my little graphic things aren't working right now. Why is that? What's happening with you? Crazy. I'll put it back in here. Anyways, I was gonna do it, but you're standing there, like anybody ever see After Hours? I think it's a Scorsese film. Griffin Dunn's in it. Patricia Arquette. Yeah, or Roseanne. Yeah, he's gonna get Patricia, I think. Really nutty movie. Death stalks you at every turn. Death, death. Thanks for calming me down, Black Richie Rich. Nothing makes me relax more. I think. Oh, and I have to find something too, real quick, because there's a bunch of this. Yeah, so I found that. All right, 1 second. That's not it. It's one of those days where there's just too much stuff. We'll find it though. Soup for my Motang. I'm gonna have to start scissoring some of these together, but then that's when Hype Train. That's when the folks. I love you, dye your hair blonde. You look like Hair Fear. That's very sweet. I might go blonde at some point. Summer's been trying to talk me into it. She's also trying to talk me into a full mohawk, which I'm not against. I'm not against. It would just be a bit much for you guys. Be a bit, you know, be a bit of a difficulty, I think. Just full on shaving this sides right here and just going, you know, just fluff this thing up on top, you know. How did you get your birthday card? I did not yet. I have not been able to check my mail in LA, but I will, Amy. Thank you so much, and good to see you, and hi. What's today's drinking word? Peace? I don't know. You'll be drunk before, you know, Trump finishes his... There it is. There it is. I found it. Oh, it's so good. Okay, hold on. Good. By the way, there was footage of... Hold on. Let me see if this comes up. Does it? Did I make it? Oh, everybody's being a little... No, I didn't. Okay. So it changes. Sometimes when I do the other side, it's not important. You don't care. It's not important. It's not important. Who cares? Good God. Hi. Where are you? There you are. Safari. Here it is. Dink. Done. Hello. And they're running a little bit slow today. That's fine. So there he is. He looks great. Looks very excited about this. And Kaylee McEnany, this is her day, man. We're one step closer to Armageddon. Jesus is going to come back and prove her happy. So let me find, hold on. I have so much stuff on my desk, not the least of which is one of my prized possessions, the Paul Stanley bust. Pretty fancy. Man, makes me feel good. It's right there. It's there for a moral support. All right. So yeah, she's got sleeves on. I know. Must be a peace deal thing. Something like that, right? I'm promoting these shows as the HalSparks Happy Hours. That's a great idea. Although that's what Steph calls hers thing, so I don't know.
Hello, everybody. So we're going to
Hi, how are you?
Philadelphia. We're coming back in a little while, but we'll be up there for a short time.
Hold on. Is this from yesterday? Yeah, this is from yesterday. No, this is today. All right.
We look forward to it. The economic world having to do with our country is doing unbelievably well. The numbers.
The economic world having to do with our country is doing incredibly well. Huh?
Good. And you'll see some very good numbers, I think, released just prior to November 3rd.
Yeah, you think? That's not telling at all.
For the third quarter, I think there'll be fantastic numbers.
Yeah, and huge amount of people will have already voted by then. I do not have Nerd Halen shirts, but Caleb does. Ask him at Nerd Halen on Twitter.
Do you have any questions?
You have any questions? Yeah. What is your head doing? What's your head doing? There's a two-tiered system. It looks like you've got kind of a fender-like system going on in the back, and then your real hair is underneath. This literally looks like a mohawk cap that you put on, and it just attaches. Is there snaps? I can't hear the questions either, so we'll hear it. Yeah. This is awful. So, and you guys can hear me okay? All right.
So with the suburban voter, we're taking care of them. It's safety. It's about safety. It's about law and order. It's also about getting...
It's about law and order. You get your lawn in order, and people feel like mow your lawn. It's all about...
regulations where housing is forced into a suburban neighborhood. And, that's the American dream. And by the way...
yeah, it's the American dream when housing is forced into the suburban neighborhood. You mean low-income housing is forced into suburban neighborhoods, and living in the suburbs is the American dream, and therefore this is against that? Jesus, gather your...
Minorities want that. Everybody wants that. They want the American dream. Because when you think of suburbia...
And the American dream is getting away from poor people no matter what color you are.
It's about 30%, close to 30% minority. Some people say more than that. They want their American dream. They don't want to have it be obliterated.
Some people say more than that. No, they don't. You do. You say it's more than that, based on nothing. Voila!
So we've ended the rule, the regulation, as you know. And if Biden got in, he'd put it right back, except they'd double it up. And
so they double it up.
They say that Corey...
It's like whatever it is, it would be double what, because really it was Obama that was holding back Biden from being a complete psychotic communist.
Booker would be in charge. He's the one that's pushing it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to destroy suburbia. And just basically, I think we have a very strong, very powerful law and order campaign. We are
law and order campaign. And by the way, since he's been arguing law and order, his poll numbers in terms of who could better maintain law and order in the country have shifted towards Joe Biden.
Endorsed by almost every major police group. Believe it or not, it's not easy for them to do. The Chicago police just endorsed us. You heard that. New York City, New York's finest endorsed us. We have Ohio.
No, I think the Benevolent Society or something of police did, but not the FOB and certainly not the New York Police Department.
We have Florida, we have everybody. And we just want safe streets. We don't want to have a Portland. We don't want to have what happened in Seattle that we took care of by saying we're going in.
Yeah, we took care of it just by saying we're going to take care of it.
They immediately gave up. We don't want to have that. We want to have safety.
The opposite of not that?
We don't want to have Chicago where people get shot and people get killed. We don't
want to have Chicago where people get shot and people get killed, and deep dish pizza and the Lakeshore and Belmont and State Street and Rush and Center on Halsted and the Chicago Diner and the hot dogs and Wrigley Field and Wilmette Community, the park and Sheridan Road. We don't want that. The Gold Coast sounds horrible. Jogging paths, Oprah's house, the pier. We don't want that.
have that.
We don't want Lower Wacker. We don't want the Blackhawks.
These are all Democrat-run cities.
Yeah, you mean the ones that have all the money?
And we don't want to have that.
We don't want to have that. We don't want to have Chicago. As America, we're gonna jettison Seattle by internet and Chicago by agricultural trade.
Yesterday in California, he said,
I don't
the
know.
science knows actually when it comes to climate change. Can you explain it to me right now, sir? Do you believe in climate change?
Well, I'm a big believer in forest management. If you notice the gentleman at the table, the professor,
Mama always told me.
he's a big believer in what I said. He came up to me and said, "Sir, you happen to be right. When you let the floors of the forest build up with leaves and build up with broken timber that's dry."
Please say exploding trees.
As a bone, you're causing forest fires. That's the problem. You're causing forest fires.
Did you hear the part where Gavin Newsom told you that 57% of the forests, the forestry areas in California are federal land, and 3% of 3% of the forests in California are state land. 3. So 3. And the rest are, I guess, privately owned. So come in and clean up your goddamn federal. Why would you not have a federal system in place? Literally.
So I believe in a lot of things, but I definitely believe in forest management.
Yeah, I believe in a lot of things, but I believe I'll have another drink.
Plus, you have to have some breaks. If you don't have breaks in between, so that when you do have areas, you're not going to lose 250,000 acres every time of beautiful forest. So, and I think, frankly, the governor, I get along with him very well. I think the governor agrees.
The governor agrees that since you're the president, you should take care of the federal lands.
With me, yeah, please.
And my hand looks moldy. Oh, is it because of that? Yeah. It's because the lights aren't adjusted here. I still got work to do, okay? I'm setting stuff up. I'm working and doing and hanging and making and shifting and calm down. I get slightly invisible sometimes. Get used to it.
Well, I think you have people that don't want to address China. They don't want to address Russia. They don't want to address India. They don't want to address these countries that haven't done very much for global warming, for the carbon footprint, for any of the things that they talk about.
What does that have to do with do you understand that there are entire cultures that are not big on soap? That there are people, masses of them, usually scattered amongst us, but sometimes they're in a pack, Lollapalooza, day 3 comes to mind, that don't bathe fairly regularly. Would that keep you from brushing your teeth?
A lot of countries that, we're supposed to do it, and we do it. By the way, our
You just said doo-doo.
carbon numbers right now are very low. They're really low. Our water, our
Yeah, because the country's shut down.
air, I want it to be clean. I want it to be immaculate. I want it to be crystal.
Immaculate air.
I want it to be absolutely clean, and that's
Crystal air. How would you move?
what we're doing. But we, at the same time, don't want to drive our businesses out because they can't compete. If you look at China with all of the plants they have, you just take a look at China and look at what's coming out of China. Take a look at our oceans and see who's dumping in our oceans.
Yeah, because they don't have the regulations we have. And if you get rid of those regulations, the same thing will happen here. HealTheBay.org.
It's not us. It's not us. And I think that's something people should.
It's not us. Jesus, we know it's not us. But what part can we play? And can you align with other countries to limit the damage done going forward? That's what the Paris Accord was about. It wasn't the Beijing Accord.
Addressing, Steve.
Steve, tell me something, please. Ask me something. Set me up. I need a wiffle ball shot.
What are they going to do?
The WTO ruled that your tariffs on China are illegal. Did you ever respond?
Well, then we'll have to do something about the WTO because they've let China get away with murder. They consider China to be a developing nation.
Yeah, they've been a developing nation for 35 years. I mean, there's an argument that they could phase out over the next 5 years, if not already. But pretending they shouldn't have been allowed in as a developing nation when they had 600 million people in poverty, and they still have 300 million in poverty. They're going to start their own finance system internally. You know why? You know why? Oh my God. So, quick side note, there's always been this talk about how, you know, what China's going to become, like, going to lap us economically. Are they going to become the, you know, a trade currency that's, you know, all this stuff? The reality is that their real estate market, this whole shift to an internalized financial system is basically a giant bailout for the real estate market in China. It is about to collapse, and this is the only way they can keep it afloat.
And by as a developing nation, did this just happen, Steve? Just happened? All right. Well, we'll take a look at that. But I'm not a big fan of the WTO. That I can tell you right now. Maybe they did us a big favor.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
What do you think of the Oracle deal?
Well, we're going to make a decision pretty soon. I have a high...
Steve Mnuchin, I think, was trying to negotiate that Microsoft gets the deal, but he might have a piece of Oracle as well. So I think he can go either way.
Respect for Larry.
I don't know, why did an ad just pop up?
Ellison.
Is that on theirs or on mine, or where was it? Sometimes it just happens.
He's somebody I know.
If you're a follower and not a subscriber.
Oh, he's been really a terrific guy for a long time. So we're going to take a look. I heard they're very close to a deal, and we'll be looking at the TikTok deal with Larry Ellison and Oracle.
I'm going to repeat the words you just said so I can pretend I know what's going on.
Why do you suppose
Oh, Twitch is testing a new ad thing? Huh.
your former aide, General Mattis,
Seth Rogen or Joe Rogan? I think I'm going to go with Rogaine.
General Kelly, has been reluctant to defend you in any way over the course of the past 2
Because
weeks?
we're very different, and you can see that with the deal we made today. I'm not a big fan
The deal we made today. Oh, we'll get to that.
of General Mattis, as you know. I think he's a very overrated general, but regardless, I guess he's a nice guy. He just didn't do the job for me. He didn't do the ISIS job after we got rid of him. It worked out very well. We took over 100% of the caliphate. But I do things differently. If you listen to the three world leaders today, and these are highly respected leaders and countries,
Collectively, all three of these countries have half the population of California.
is a tremendously respected warrior. I mean, they're warriors. They're a very
What?
strong, respected country. If you listen to what they
He's going to build a Trump Tower in each one.
said, nobody thought of the plan that I thought of. And it's going around the back door. I call it going around the smart door and coming in a different way.
I call it coming around the smart door and going in a different way. He has really the best words, don't you think? Wait, what was that again? Give me that again.
If you listen to what they said, nobody thought of the plan that I thought of. And it's going around the back door. I call it going around the smart door and coming in a different way. And we have many other countries going.
You call it that. You call it in the middle of meetings. Like, hey guys, and I don't know if anybody has thought about this, but how about we go around the smart door and come in a different way? And they throw their drinks in your face and run out of the room laughing.
Be joining us, and they're going to be joining us soon. We'll have, I think 7 or 8 or 9. We're going to have a lot of other countries joining us, including the big ones. We already have the big one, but
No, you don't.
including the big.
The big one, he means Israel, by the way. He doesn't mean these other 2 countries.
And this is not something that the people that you mentioned would be able to be doing.
Yeah, they're generals. They don't negotiate peace. That's a totally different thing. Right. I don't understand why the cops won't help me do my taxes.
And it's not something that my critics thought was possible. And now they say, wow, that was a good idea. I will say it's gotten rave reviews.
I mean, is he going to go back to the Thomas Friedman op-ed?
Even from the New York Times and Tom Friedman and
Right, Jesus Christ. One
a lot of people that don't like Donald Trump too much, they've given it literally rave reviews. So
rave reviews. It's a showstopper. I laughed, I cried, it became a part of me. I mean, you'll find yourself dancing in your seats to the UAE, Bahrain normalization of commercial travel gathering signing thing.
this is one deal, but we have many others like this. Look.
Yeah, you do. There's lots of other areas where you are giving billions of dollars of military equipment to countries, including one that, sent a few hijackers our way.
Our country's been stagnant for many years. We did nothing but give our money away, give our wealth away, and give our jobs away. And now we stopped that. We stopped that 3.5 years ago.
Really? What's the unemployment rate right now? What does everyone at CNBC, Fox Business, and the Wall Street Journal, I don't know, wherever you go to get your stock info, if you ask them what's one word that they would use to sum up the stock market right now, what do you think that word would be? Chat room, anybody got an idea what that word would be? Because I got an idea. Is it very, yeah, Bloomberg works. What is it? What is the one word? Overinflated, that's close. Overvalued. That's right. Every single one of them will tell you that it is overvalued. That's right. Inflated, volatile is a big word, but that's mainly because they don't understand the trading. Overvalued, absolutely. A walk 2020.
You think Saudi Arabia will join?
Overvalued. 6 major stocks are driving the entire rise in the stock market. The Fed is dumping cash into these equities just to keep them afloat. For Christ's sake.
I do.
Does cryptocurrency have anything to do with this? No. It's a totally different strain of things. It's incredibly volatile right now. Nobody knows what funds will be worth. And by the way, the Fed has been buying treasuries and killing them essentially, because when they buy them back from a bank, they buy bonds back, they cease to exist. They don't hold on. The Treasury doesn't hold bonds. Once they buy them back, they evaporate. There's like a little key code in a computer somewhere that they used to exist. But the Fed is consumed. You know how they say, oh, they're just printing money. The Fed is actually burning money to some degree. And the dollar is looking to go very strong because they're worried about inflation because, of lack of supply. So they're doing all this stuff. It is so complicated and nuts. and he has no idea.
I spoke with the King of Saudi Arabia.
Great. Of course you did.
At the right time, I do think they will come in. Yes, I do. This is a very big and very historic moment, and I think everyone agrees to that. But we'll have other countries.
No. No, I don't. I think it's a ruffle.
Coming in fairly rapidly.
You think indoor rallies are safe?
So I think you have a governor
You think indoor rallies are safe, and this is what he goes to.
of Nevada who wouldn't let us use outside venues. You know, the night before, I think you were there, we had a massive crowd, and it was...
Haley is just... I can't tell if she's fawning or going, what have I done with my life? How did I follow this man?
Outside venue. Well, we...
Yeah, there's some heavy blinking going on there. Okay.
Other outside venues the next day in Las Vegas. The governor made it impossible for the people that do it, our people, the people that do it, and forced us into an indoor rally. We didn't want an indoor rally, but we did an indoor rally. They spaced as much as they could have, but the governor could have...
Didn't space at all. Hey, Transurban. Thanks so much. Good on you. Fair dinkum. How are you, Bruce? Bit crook, Bruce.
Problem. All he had to do is let us use
Kaylee McKennedy. She's a good Sheila and not at all stuck up.
one of the outdoor venues. Plus, they had 25,000 people outside of the venue that couldn't get in.
I live here.
But it's very interesting when they have protests, that's okay. When they have violence, when they have anarchists, and they have agitators, that's okay. The governor of Nevada should...
Yeah, I hate those anarchist rallies. I mean, honestly, I would love to have the inhaler concession on that, but...
not be in charge of ballots.
That's right. Monty Python, well spotted.
The ballots are going to be a disaster for our country. And
He's losing by 10 points. Like, if he was up by 10 points, but he was like, they're going to steal this election from me. You would almost have something to listen to there. You're like, dude, you're ahead by 10 points and you're worried about losing. That's because they're going to steal this. Like, that would make sense. He's behind everywhere. He's choking on Biden's bicycle dust at every turn. The only way that they're going to win this election is, of course, by being 8 to 10 points, maybe 12, probably 15. Some people even say 16 points ahead.
the governor of Nevada should not be in charge of ballots. When he won't let us
The Secretary of State is.
meet and congregate and do...
What does that have to do with anything? How'd you read about the transgenic want a GOP sheriff? Transgender satanic anarchist want a GOP sheriff? That sounds adorable.
really a friendly protest, he should...
It's not a friendly protest. It's a rally. Don't be a dick. You know you're using that as a phrase because you think you're allowed to have a protest. It's not the same thing. People marching and people gathering in one room coughing on each other is not the same
not
thing.
be in charge of the ballots.
Thanks, Dralithy. Dralithy? Thank you. I will. Thanks
You're
for
going to have
subscribing.
problems with the ballots like nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah, nobody's ever seen it before and they won't. He just was out. He's like, I'm done. Can't do it. I'm out. So here's his sit-down gathering. Let's do this with, I'm fairly certain Mr. Bean's stunt double is with us today.
Great friends of ours, fantastic friends.
Are we watching him at the town hall? I don't have that yet. That usually goes up afterwards. They usually don't stream it live.
It's our honor to have you be leading the path, leading the way. Your country is a great country with a great leader and
I look forward to. There's so much green around me right here. See this freckly? Hold on one second. This might be why I'm. Like, we'll see. Maybe this helps. It'll be too bright as it is, anyways. A little better.
warrior and smart, respected all over the world.
Why does he keep going to warrior when he's talking to diplomats? And why is the airplane on the table? Were you just playing with it? This is the plane. We painted it this way. Nice plane, huh? Sweet.
So this was a natural, and having you be signing and doing the agreement today.
Signing and doing it? Ooh. Do you roll it up or do you poke a hole in it? Signing and doing. Signing and doing. The best words.
So in 72 years, they've done 2 agreements, and we've done 2, as you know, in a period of a month.
Yeah, you're going to put this up against like Yasser Arafat and Menachem Begin and the Camp David Accords, and you're going to put that up against welcome to like whatever Emirates Airlines flight to Tel Aviv.
And I will say, because of your leadership and because of the fact that you are leading the way, we have many countries in your region.
He's leading the way? He's leading the way? That's interesting.
In your part of the world that will be very...
I have a cigarette burn in the upper... Oh, this one right here? Yeah, that's the lamp. I gotta figure out the lighting. Just let me dial it in. I lost my remote control in the move. And these lights that I have, the controller for them is this little floaty thing. I'll get to it.
Quickly signing up also. They frankly would have been here today if we wanted it to happen. But
You didn't want it to happen? Why would you not want other countries to join your peace accord? Why? What a weird thing.
Be signing others, and this can really lead to peace, real peace, in the Middle East for the first time. We've taken
all the bombings between the United Arab Emirates and Israel. It's just been nonstop. I mean, I used to wake up sweating, thinking, Bahrain.
a very different path. You could say it's a backdoor, but I call it a smart.
Okay, I'm gonna need to grab this one. Hold on. You what?
We've taken a very different path. You could say it's a backdoor, but I call it a smart door, not a backdoor.
No. Guys, no. No. Donald, what are you doing back there, dummy? I'm going in the smart door. You know I calls that the dumb door.
Really lead to peace, real peace, in the Middle East for the first time. We've taken a very different path.
This is so awful.
You could say it's a backdoor, but I call it a smart door, not a backdoor. I call it a smart door.
Great, great. Did everybody get that? Did you write it down? When he says smart door, he means back door. So in case you need your Trump to English dictionary.
And this was a vision that I had a long time ago, and we had some incredible
Oh, he's having visions now. That's reassuring.
representatives, and I want to thank
Did you go to the mountaintop covered in goat blood?
everybody here because your representation was brilliant. We watched over the
His agent was there?
years as we were criticized for going this path, and it just all came together. And now the same people that criticize, well, they'll find something else to criticize us.
What was the, here's the criticism. We're giving them F-35s and bunker buster bombs. They're doing this because they're getting weapons. This is the Iran-Contra affair, just the diplomatic bag version.
We have other things happening that are very good, equally as good, very important.
Great, what are they? Equally as good, so they suck too?
Worldwide, very, very important.
Oh, they're worldwide. These are all, they include countries like, I could even name like, what? Russia? Russia and, yeah.
But it's an honor to have you here, and say hello to your family and your brother and all of those people that we so respect.
Say hello to your mother for me.
Thank you very much.
As we say in Arabic, shukran, Mr. President.
Shakram.
We are humbled to represent.
That was one of the first phrases I learned to say, by the way, in Arabic. I asked how to say thank you from a cab driver in New York. I was in New York.
A nation which
Shukram.
is only 48 years old, but full of
Like, what? Look at his face. What? I was supposed to say this war's been going on for thousands of years. 48? The shit?
hope and wants to.
Look at him. Look, he just found that out. He's like, it later on, watch for him someplace to go. Most people don't even know Bahrain's only 48 years old because he just found it out.
Attract more hope in our region. Our region has suffered far too long, and we would like to show our people and our region and the world that there is some good news from our part of the world. I mean, this is one, and all the good work we've been doing for decades, Mr. President, with your great nation. We've been the strongest trading partner of the United States in the Middle East.
That's right.
We want to continue.
Yeah, they're a port. There are 1.9 million people in all of Bahrain. All they do is ship shit.
You doing so?
It's fine. I'm sure it's lovely. But it's a port country. Why don't you just have the guy, like the king of the Cayman Islands, come in? And Trump is completely checked out. He's like, 48 years? What a bunch of shit.
In all fields?
Wait a minute. I gave a 48-year-old country F-35s and bunker busters for free?
And this is just a clear
Seriously.
message that more should be done between the United States and the UAE. But now we can do it even with more nations, with Israel, and so many more.
That's true.
Thank you, sir, for your
So true. We can trade with them as well. It's almost as if they're running out of oil.
leadership. And if it wasn't for that, it would have been far more
Hi, cool ma at home. Mom at home.
difficult for all of us to achieve.
No, I understand that.
Welcome, by the way. We've got 243 people in the Twitch chat alone, which is amazing. And thank you and hello. And everybody who's over at the, is the live stream up on YouTube? Yeah, it's up and running. It's in excellent condition. There's 44 folks over there. Hello, I see you guys showing up in the chat on my regular one or whatever, but I wanted to make sure. And then, of course, over at Facebook, those of you who cannot financially support the channel right now because things are crazy, I want to say from the heart, love you, don't worry about it. Please join us as often as you can, and we will be a breath of sanity in this craziness. And I adore you and fear not. And by the way, that goes to YouTube and Twitch folks as well. But I want to specifically thank all the Twitch people who came over and made up for this. The YouTube is just, it's there, but I won't be able to monetize for a good long while. So there you go.
It was something we felt very strongly about, and being friends with you, your brother, your family, you made it happen, and we appreciate it. And I think your country appreciates it, and the world appreciates it, so thank you very much. It's really great. Any questions?
Oh boy.
Please?
What message would you like the Palestinians to take from today's event, sir?
You see the dude, right.
Well, I think they see what's happening, and a lot of
They do. I think they prefer what's happening now because it featured rerun more. I'm sorry.
countries are joining up, and as you know, we don't make payments to them. We're paying a lot of money to the Palestinians
Yeah, you're starving them out.
every year, and we would.
I'm not live on YouTube? Sure I am. I must be. Yeah, that was the weird part. Hold on one second. I may have to fix this little piece. There we go. That do it? We'll see. Yeah. His hair just rolled away. There you go. Let me jump back over here so I can see you guys and see what I'm doing. It's a live stream, folks. We don't, we got lots going on all the time.
being treated properly. They were not saying nice things for
They were not saying nice things. Why won't they say nice things?
many years.
You have to go to Halsparks.live for the new YouTube channel because they shut me out at the
And
end.
nobody's ever done this before, but I stopped payment.
I stopped payment on like it's a check to a contractor.
It's a term that's used for a lot of things. It's called we stop payment.
What is this whole like making up phrases that already exist? It is so bizarre.
Because if they're not going to respect us or if they're not going to speak well of us, we're not going to be involved.
Why would they speak well of you? You just, out of nowhere, gave Israel rights to the Golan Heights, moved the embassy, didn't consult them, just basically shut them out over all this stuff. And basically, you're like, guess what? Tell you what, we won't. We'll make Israel promise not to annex the deadest land in the area.
They, I think, are seeing what's happening, and we've been given very strong signals that they'd like to be a part of what's happening. So I think we'll see the Palestinians at some point, but before we see the Palestinians, we'll see other very important countries come into this transaction. They'd be here.
Yeah, Russia would be here because they're basically pulling the strings of this whole thing because it's their shipments that we're protecting.
Today, frankly, if we wanted them. So
What? And I don't understand that either. What does that even mean? They would be here if I wanted them.
we'll see the Palestinians at some point, but before we see the Palestinians, we'll see other very important countries come
Right.
into this transaction. They'd be here today, frankly, if we wanted them. So
Why wouldn't you want them? I don't understand. Like, can you imagine if you had 7 countries signing a multilateral peace deal? Yeah, he needs other backdoors.
think that you'll see some very great things happening in the Middle East. You're going to have peace without blood in the sand. For years, you had blood in the sand. That's all you had, blood in the sand. You got nothing for it. They got
For years, yeah, 48 years, Bahrain's been nothing but blood in the sand. He just told you they're one of our primary trading partners in the area for 50 years.
nothing for it. Now you got
Nothing for it.
a peace, and it'll be a real peace. And you have the most
Yeah, he said this yesterday. Like, it's the weirdest. His whole, like,
The sand was loaded up with blood. A lot
then-
of that sand is going to be loaded up with peace.
just so stupid.
Powerful countries, as an example, it's a great warring nation if it wants to be.
No, it isn't. What are you talking about? A great warring nation if it wants to be. It is now because you're giving them F-35s and bunker busters and munitions, which, by the way, they more than likely will not use and will sell.
With a tremendous military, a powerful military, and they're
They let us have a base there.
really great warriors.
No, they're not. It's Bahrain and the UAE. It's not Saudi Arabia. We're not talking about Afghanistan. We're not talking about the Mujahideen.
And it was very important that we had you, and we've had
Yusuf Zad.
great talks, as you know, with Saudi Arabia, with the king.
The turtle is the king. I talked to the king,
And I
and
think he's going to be terrific.
he's going to let you come over and fondle his globe again.
I think he's got a very open mind. But I've had
Not as open as Jamal Khashoggi's.
very personal talks with the king
Ew. What do you guys whisper about?
and the crown prince, and I think their mind is very open. They're very much, I think they're going to come along really well.
Yeah, it's almost, you know, they can almost forget the fact that Saudi Arabia is now cash poor, running a deficit for the first time in its existence in the modern era, and tried to do an IPO of their oil industry, and it failed, so they pulled it off.
So it's an honor to be here. We're going to have a ceremony outside. And I just want to say that being the first, because you were the first, being the first was very important that you be the first for us. Because you're leading a path, you're leading a way, and it's something that people were very surprised.
How Biden pulled ahead in polling in Texas. Not surprising.
That I will say.
By the way, the American oil industry wouldn't necessarily support this juncture. I mean, you're basically creating a sideline OPEC by allowing these people to have military weapons and control their, you know, the Bering Straits and all that. Like, I don't know that this is a big Texas move doing this.
Even the biggest optimists were shocked when they heard about this transition.
No, the biggest optimists. So I'm one of the biggest optimists in the world. That's how I can remain funny every day in light of the fact that you are doing. You're doing the weird Illuminati hand gesture thing, which apparently was evil when Obama did it, but when he does it, it's, you know, it's a message to Q.
And shocked in a very positive way. So I want to
Shocked in a positive way, you know. Sometimes it tickles.
thank you for.
The Twitch room is on fire. Hi, Twitch. Thanks. By the way, if you're on Twitch in the other light, share the show. You can host to your channel if you want. You can spread us out a little bit. And you can, of course, Facebook. One of the ways you guys can help is, you know, spread the love. Let people know that we're around, you know, the show exists. Just send people to twitch.tv/HalSparks. That would be lovely.
Making it all happen. Thank you very much.
Theoretical. Hal, hello, I am Q. Please vote Biden.
Mr. President, Iran has been very critical, as you know, of this agreement, and we've seen
Which is the only reason we're doing it.
some security incidents in the Middle East over the last 24 hours. Will you be extending any security guarantees to those who have made
Well,
peace
we're
with
working
Israel?
together, and we'll see what happens with Iran. I would say right after the election, within a period of a week, maybe a month, but within a period of a very short period, within maybe, literally a very short time, you'll have Iran coming back and saying, let's get this whole thing worked out.
Is Iran waiting for you to release your taxes or the healthcare plan? Or for the wall to be finished in a very short period of time? I just need to know what kind of short periods of time we're talking about. Because in the Bible, the original 6 days in Hebrew were, I think, yom, which means a period of time, which could be a day or an eon for that matter. So it could be an argument that what is a blink in the eye to God or a day in the life of God effectively is eons and eons as far as humans and the planet itself. So it could be 6 billion years, and that would actually be in line with science in some ways. Never mind.
Iran is suffering. Iran, unfortunately, I don't want them to suffer, but their economy is tanked. They have a minus 27 GDP. Nobody's ever
Ours went down 33%.
heard of a number like that. I think it's perhaps a record setter, but they're down 27%.
Does he have someone from Guinness Book always there?
And I think they want to make a deal, but they'd much rather deal with Sleepy Joe Biden than me because, you know, we're going to make a deal, and I'll make a very fair deal. And I even suggested wait till after the election. Make yourself feel good. Wait till after the election. So we'll see what happens with Iran. I think
Make yourself feel good. Wait until after the election. This was your message? Did you write this on a piece of toilet paper?
Iran will end up being
Has anyone else become aware of their own sniffing? Yeah.
part of a very large and very, very difficult part of the world. Look, the Middle East has been a very complex, very difficult part of the world. We're making it
Ooh, history lesson.
easier. We're making it a lot simpler. But I think right after our election, the American election, if we win, we'll have a deal with Iran. I think we're going to make a deal with Iran.
Mr. President, when do you expect other countries in the region to follow the UAE's lead and normalize relations with Israel? And which countries are you targeting in that fashion?
Well, I don't want to say the countries, but we have many of them, and they'll be coming along rather rapidly, some before the election perhaps, but a lot of them after. And in that case, they won't be waiting for the election. I mean, it's just a question of getting it done. They are very, very excited about being a part of this. Some would have been a part of it today, in my opinion, if we wanted to, but we didn't want to press it.
Why not?
We wanted to give you the dignity and respect because you were the first one. You were the first one. And we have Bahrain here, as you know, and Bahrain is signing today also, but we have
Bahrain was first. You announced Bahrain first.
a list of who's who. They'll be signing the deal. And it's an incredible thing is happening. It's come a long way. Israel's come a long way, and the Middle East has come a long way.
They've had trade back and forth. It's all been private planes.
It's really good for everyone. It's not just Israel. It's good for everybody. It's great for your country.
Great for their country to have F-35s and bunker busters.
Great for your country. And
Yeah, what's $50 billion to 3 different countries?
so it's an honor to be here. It's been so well received all over the world. It's been a real honor. Thank you very much. We'll see you outside.
So good. Such a moving sound.
Thank you
myself.
very much. It's great
Yeah.
to be with the
Go away.
Minister of
That's the. There's the full text of the actual document, and this is the gathering.
Foreign Affairs of UAE.
Oh, sorry. Always Dock of the Bay. This is like somebody makes this request all the time. It's just using the White House as props.
Has passed down from
There we go.
Moscow.
We'll just do his
cooperation of the United Arab Emirates and the Minister of the Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
He's the one they all say hail to. Hail to the chief, cause he keeps himself so clean. Did I do the Netanyahu sit down? I have not yet. I didn't find that one in there, so yeah. We love you, woos! Yeah, baby!
Thank you very much. Please. Thank you.
It's almost as if they get along already.
The First Lady and I are honored to welcome to the White House Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm. Why is this not? Why will this not get this out of there? Hold on. If I can shut this.
Israel and Mrs. Netanyahu. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah.
I don't know why it's so choppy. Hold on one second. I'm going back to the. Maybe it helps if when I switch pages, if I go this way. I'm trying to figure out what the trick is.
And Foreign Minister Abdullah bin Zayed, United Arab Emirates.
He sounds like he's calling a golf game.
UAE, thank you very much.
Oh, that's what it stands for. Guys, did you know? I didn't know.
And Foreign Minister Abdulaziz Al Zani of Bahrain, thank you.
Oh boy.
Thank you very much. We're here this afternoon to change the course of history. After decades of division and conflict, we mark the dawn of a new Middle East. Thanks to the great courage of the leaders of these 3 countries, we take a major stride toward a future in which people of all faiths and backgrounds live together in peace and prosperity. In a few moments, these visionary leaders...
When will the bombs stop? That's what I want to know. Will the ceasefire between the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain hold? Will it? And Israel? This is such a tenuous ceasefire.
will sign the first 2 peace deals between Israel and the Arab state in more than a quarter century. In Israel...
Yeah, Mommy Chickson, that's an interesting thing. So, you've lots of drugs needed today. Betty has Atlas with him all night. So Scott Atlas, super doctor. Yeah, there's no peace. I mean, there's no shooting between them. This is not. They've been in trade. They've been trade partners for a long time. It's just ridiculous. So the president supposedly, hold on. See this. The president supposedly had, let's see, Scott Atlas. There we go. Ooh, that was interesting. Because it triggered me out of that. Yike. Oh, quit it. You're too late. So Scott Atlas, is a Stanford profiles. Where is he? Let me bring it up. Yeah. So his big thing is magnetic resonance of the brain and spine. That's what Scott Atlas does at Stanford. He's the editor of the leading textbook in the field of magnetic resonance and imaging of the brain and spine. Now, why would they meet? Why would you call in this specialist about brain and spinal issues to deal with an epidemic unless, and Trump, we know Trump hires people that he likes from other stuff, either from television or from his personal life, like Keith Schilling and all these other people. Anybody want to venture a guess that they possibly brought him in to consult after Trump went to Walter Reed and they had to do magnetic resonance imaging of his brain and spine, and he's just always got to be around? You think? It's just a thought. MRI is radiology, but fMRI is neuroscience. Right. Well, he's in the, let's see, expert in the field, magnetic resonance. He's the editor of the MRI for brain and spine, which would be the fMRI. And he's the chief of neuroradiology at Stanford. He was until 2012. He's a specialist. They called in a specialist. Trump was having brain problems. They called in a specialist. And now that dude, yeah, he's a stroke scientist. Right. He's suddenly always near Trump. You ever notice that? It's a little weird. Like, it wasn't it's like kind of like how they used footage from Russia in their new ads. And you're like, what? They couldn't get footage from Czechoslovakia or Hungary or Poland or the UK. They had to get it from Russia? Really? The same thing kind of applies in this situation. Why wouldn't you seek out the greatest epidemiological mind in the country and have him added to the... He said herd immunity on Fox Trump like that. He was also helping Florida State with school opening, and now they're hiding outbreaks from parents. Yeah, Andy's cute, right? He's a Q. Oh, that, I don't doubt that helps her. That's why they called him in. But I'm saying, why is he always present, and why they would bring him in versus anybody? Because there's a bunch of other doctors who know even less about epidemiology. And maybe it's the Stanford name. Maybe he's just stuck with that.
His entire history, there have previously been only 2 such agreements. Now we have achieved 2 in a single month, and there are more to follow.
He's so impressed by Bahrain and the UAE.
Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain will establish embassies, exchange ambassadors, and begin to cooperate and work together so strongly to cooperate as partners across the...
Oh, did you see that bug fly by? Seriously, are we going to get a biblical locust plague in the middle of this?
Broad range of sectors, from tourism...
COVID is primarily a vascular disease, not respiratory. Therefore, having someone around for strokes and other vascular info is slightly relevant. It absolutely is.
To trade and healthcare to security. They're going to work together. They are friends. The Abraham Accord.
Yeah, they're friends. They're not at war. This is not a peace deal because it doesn't end a war.
Also open the...
It's a trade deal, if anything. It's an arms deal, really.
For Muslims around the world to visit the historic sites in Israel.
If people, do you see these bugs flying across? If people start running and screaming like the opening of The Nutty Professor, I'm going to laugh my ass off.
And to peacefully pray at Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, the 3rd holiest site in Islam.
I think I'm starting to figure something out.
Together, these agreements will serve as the foundation for a comprehensive peace across the entire region, something which nobody thought was possible, certainly not in this day and age, maybe in many decades from now.
A, more bugs, and B, still nobody thinks that's possible. You haven't even consulted the Palestinians. The Iranians are still supplying them with arms and supplies because the Israelis won't and blockade it. Do you think Syria is going to calm down anytime soon?
But one founded
If he gets Syria in because Assad wants to join this normalization thing,
on shared interests, mutual respect, and friendship.
I'm just saying.
To our honored guests from Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, congratulations on this outstanding achievement. Congratulations.
Oh, that's nice. He gave him a hand job. That's nice.
Fantastic. It's
the true sign of Trump affection. Asses need this is the connection with neuro, drugs. Yeah. Yeah, there's cicadas, I know, but it's hilarious. We saw it, Biden swatting those things off him. He didn't care.
I also want to thank Vice President Mike Pence. Thank you, Mike. Great job. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo.
Oh, he mentions Jared in a day ago, but
Mike, thank you very much.
He's still mad at him about Bahrain.
National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien. Robert, thank you. Mr. Jared Kushner. Jared, thank you very much.
Does he know who these people are? Are we having a grandpa
Ambassador
moment?
Brian Hook. Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. And Avi Berkowitz. Avi, thank you very much. I also want to give a very special thanks. He's been an incredible ambassador to.
By the way, thank you guys for joining us. 251. We're actually going up in viewers, and these shows are long. I understand it. These are streams. This takes a while. This isn't your short attention span theater. So thank you for hanging.
Israel, David Friedman.
No relation.
That's a very great group of people, great group of patriots. They wanted this to happen so badly. They worked so hard.
I thought he was talking about the Friedmans.
And again, nobody thought it could happen, and they thought it could happen. They never even doubted it. So.
Oh my God, I can't. God, you know what would be? It feels so impossible. If Bahrain and the UAE had commercial flights back together, I don't know. How would we even make that happen? What if we bribe them with $50 billion in weapons? Really?
I want to thank you all very much. Thank you.
Jasmine tea.
For generations, the people of the Middle East have been held back by old conflicts, hostilities, lies.
They're still in the 4th grade?
Treacheries, so many things held them back. Actually, lies that the Jews and Arabs were enemies and that Al-Aqsa Mosque was under attack. Constantly, they would say it was under attack. These lies passed down from generation to generation.
We do love Aussies and Kiwis, we do.
A vicious cycle of terror and violence that spread across the region and all over the world. These agreements prove that the nations of the region are breaking free from the failed approaches of the past. Today's sign.
They're running out of oil.
Sets history on a new course.
Yeah, Al-Aqsa Mosque. I know. It's like his Al-Aqsa Mosque.
And there will be other countries very, very soon that will follow these great leaders.
Yeah. He doesn't seem convinced.
The people of the Middle East will no longer allow hatred of Israel to be fomented as an excuse for radicalism or extremism. So important. And they'll no longer allow the great destiny of their region to be denied. On my first foreign trip as president, I had the honor of addressing the leaders of more than 54 Arab and Muslim nations in Saudi Arabia. My message that day was very simple.
Who are all these people?
I urge the nations of the Middle East to set aside their differences,
Yeah, Abu Dhabi's next.
unite against the
Or Robert Dhabi. I don't know that he'll know the difference.
common enemy of civilization, and work together toward the noble aims of security and prosperity. I offered America's
Mainly prosperity.
friendship. I offered America's help. But I said clearly that the nations of the regions had to decide what kind of a future they wanted for their children
what kind of
and for
future
their
is this?
families and
Yeah.
for their nation itself.
Right.
No one could make that choice for them. They had to
Nobody.
do that themselves. Today, the world's
So, but to sweeten the pot, here's a bunch of planes that the Iranians don't have.
sees that they're choosing cooperation over conflict, friendship over enmity, prosperity over poverty, and hope over despair.
Great. Are we just doing antonyms now? I love antonym speeches. Where they see lowlands, we see highlands. Where they stare at the ground and wonder why, we stare at the sky and wonder why not. On the one hand, there is another hand. They're kind of attached at the wrist.
They are choosing a future in which Arabs and Israelis
No, Jess. He does not know what an antonym is. He doesn't know.
Muslims, Jews, and Christians can live together, pray together, and dream together.
Do they hold hands? Do they put all their hands in warm water? Dream together? What is this, Inception?
Side by side in harmony.
Oh, there's insects flying by like crazy. There's cicadas all over the place. It looks like a plague of locusts.
Community and peace. Once again, let me congratulate the people of Israel, the people of the United Arab Emirates, and the people of the Kingdom of Bahrain. God bless you all. This is an incredible day for the world. This is a really wonderful and beautiful occasion. I want to thank all of the members of
Let's see. Why? Hang on one second. Can I just check one thing? Why would you schedule this for today? Like, what would be the reason? Could it be this one? Could it be that we're at 195,000 dead? That's the triggered thing. Sorry, I have to fix that.
Congress for being here. Senators, congressmen, congresswomen, we just appreciate it so much. Everybody
Oh, it's so good. Oh, sorry.
wanted to be here. It's a very important day for the world. It's a
Isn't
very
it?
important day for peace. Before the parties sign the accords, I'd like to ask Prime Minister Netanyahu to say a few words, followed by the Foreign Minister of the United Arab Emirates and the Foreign Minister of Bahrain. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Good boy. I want to thank my buddy Donald for bailing me out of my complete screw the pooch that's going on right now and allowing me to leave the country so that I could come here and hang out because the people of Israel are pissed that we've had a spike in cases and I'm leaving. Thank you, Audio Girl Jen. Thanks so much. Fun fact, 2 Middle Eastern countries with the highest rates of COVID. Yeah. And really? Is that a fact? No.
Our dear friend, President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, thank you for hosting me, my wife Sarah, and our entire delegation on this historic day. I want to recognize Vice President Pence, Secretary Pompeo, National Security Advisor O'Brien, and other cabinet members, Jared Kushner, Avi Berkowitz, Ambassador Friedman, and other members of the President's able peace team, senators, members of Congress, Israeli Ambassador Ron Dermer, his Emirate and Bahraini counterparts, as well as all the dignitaries
Al needs a mullet emote. That's not a bad idea.
gathered here on this sunny day. I want to also express my gratitude for all the Israelis who've worked for years, sometimes in less sunny climes, to bring this date, and I thank each and every one of you. Thank you.
No one's been fighting forever to get Bahrain to have commercial flights from Israel. And secondly, Trump is either frozen, dead, or asleep. He's over this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, this day is a pivot of history.
Yeah, totally. It all swings on today. Camp David, Menachem Golan, and Yasser Arafat. Menachem Golan, listen to me. Yasser Arafat and Yitzhak Rabin.
A new dawn of peace. For thousands.
That's what it is. Thousands of years, peace has dawned. Is this just aimed at his evangelical psychopaths? Is this supposed to line up with his, I don't think the scientists know?
Years, the Jewish people have prayed for peace. For decades, the Jewish state has prayed for peace.
And now you don't have to charter a private plane, which most people do in that region, to go to Bahrain. You can fly commercial.
And this is why today we're filled with such profound gratitude.
Because I have stock in Oracle.
I am grateful to you, President Trump, for your decisive leadership.
You heard his name.
You have unequivocally stood.
He looks like a frowning frog.
By Israel's side. You have boldly confronted the tyrants of Tehran. You've proposed a realistic vision.
I try, Audio Girl Jen.
For peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
Like if he just starts wavering and goes down, I won't be surprised.
And you have successfully brokered the historic peace that we are signing today, a peace that has broad support in Israel, in America, in the Middle East, indeed in the entire world.
Hooray for the peace that already exists. It's amazing how everyone supports this thing that's basically just already happening. We're just putting a name on it. If you name something, it's the same as inventing it. It is? No. Interesting. The neck gina is off kilter today. It's usually lined up with his tie tuck, but it's got a side slope. Maybe it's just the way he's standing.
I'm grateful to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed of the United Arab
That was an interesting pronunciation. That sounds a lot closer to reality than what Trump said.
Emirates, and to you, Foreign Minister Abdullah bin Zayed.
There's somebody else here with that same name? That's so weird.
I thank you both for your wise leadership and for working with the United States and Israel to expand.
Oh my God, I can't do this whole thing. This is ridiculous. We just skip past this. He's not going to take questions. Look, how long is this? And then this guy again, and then this guy, and then the other boss. There we go. He's going to say stuff, and then they're all going to let's watch him go down and write. Okay, you will all have 20 minutes to complete your test. Do not pick up your pens until until the clock starts. Not yet. Stop peeking. I'm just gonna get at this. I got a thing. I'm not looking at
There was a
your paper.
formal policy on base that prohibited local military spouses for applying for professional level jobs. I had
Oh wait, I was like, where is that coming from? I was like, oh, that's
one
from
in
the
English, Hebrew, and Arabic. We kindly ask that all guests remain seated for the signing of the documents.
Yeah, don't bail on this bullshit.
the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the United Arab Emirates, will sign a treaty of peace, diplomatic relations, and full normalization. They will each sign 3
So they had partial normalization? Is that normal?
copies.
Did they have a, does anyone sign up for partial abnormalization? Asking
One in
for a
English,
friend. But ain't ding.
Hebrew, and Arabic. We kindly ask that all guests remain seated for the signing of the document.
Okay, it's like the Nathan's hot dog eating contest of signing treaties. Watch Trump just blaze through these. You guys sign it, and then I sign my part, and then they move them. Excuse me. I studied for the essay version of the question, and this is multiple choice.
Can you be helpful here and tell me your mind?
You do the same for me in Arabic.
I will.
So they wrote all these out in English and in Hebrew and Arabic, and this one's in Hebrew, maybe, because the dude couldn't, the Arab representative couldn't read it, and he couldn't find where his name goes.
So, which one is
And
mine?
she didn't know either.
Thank you.
What do I sign? Yes. Yeah, so they all have to sign the same line, and Trump's like, what? I just signed the English part. He's totally gonna sign the wrong area. He's signing the receipt for lunch. I could live for 3 years on what they paid for those 4 suits. It's entirely possible. Well, the other 3 guys, not Trump. Trump's suits are notoriously cheap. And they smell. Like a well-oiled machine. It came with directions that said, do not add oil.
26 years.
After this, fish delight. You guys want to go for a fish delight? On me? No, literally. I eat it on me. I lay in the bed and I watch Lara and I eat it and I crumb in my belly. And then later on, it's like a little treasure hunt to find pieces of crunchy bun. I made a stinky. Great, super cool, awesome. That's great. When do the bombs stop falling? I'm sorry, Jillian. That was true though. We talked. You were gonna hold yours up. I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, let me grab mine. There we go. There we go. Now we'll hold them up. Dude, get it together. So great when they get their green belt. You know, it's a moment of pride, but you really don't know if they're gonna keep going. He just learned that little gesture, so he's doing it a bunch. Something he is always late on with the Pledge of Allegiance. Here, take that. All right, I'm done. Who wants the pen? You want the pen?
The President of the United
Jesus, that's all he ever does is hand the pen up.
States, the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, and the Minister of the Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Bahrain will now
Is that, did I sign the right place?
the Declaration of
Wait.
Peace.
Okay, they have to do it again.
Each sign 3 copies, 1 in English, Hebrew, and Arabic.
Yeah.
Sign 4 copies, 1 in English, 1 in Hebrew, and 2 in Arabic.
Dude. Yay. Come on, guys, let's go inside. Fish delights. So good. Guys, let's wave. Kind of like the end of a concert when the band comes out and they all do a bow. Hand job, hand job, hand job. Love you guys. I'm surprised he doesn't go when he does that. You stand here, I'll stand here. That was part of the deal. You can stand next to him. I'm in no rush. Hi. Hand job, hand job. That dude's always like gracious. He's the diplomat. Christ almighty. Oh God. Is that, I mean, and I understand that there's gotta be let me see if I can find the gathering of him and Netanyahu. Trump attends a bilat with Sheikh Balad.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be with the minister.
Oh, we already did that part. Yeah. I'll see if I can find the original. Two of them? Is that this guy?
This was a special
Oh shit. The key.
by myself and the First Lady to Prime Minister and the First Lady of Israel. And it's a key. We call it a key to the White House. And
We call it that. It's not, but we call it that. What do you live in a grandfather clock?
it's a key to our country and to our hearts.
A key to our country and our hearts. If you ever lose it, we also have a coat hanger to our hearts. If you need to get in, you can always use a coat hanger to get in the White House if you lose your key. There's a fob now. It's 2020. Why is the key to the, this is the key to the White House. It's a key to the smart door.
And you've been an amazing leader for a long period of time. And this is in many respects the big day, because this is something that's very special. And we just left UAE and Bahrain. We're going to meet outside in a ceremony. And
It went very well. You guys will be happy to know I'm from the future, and you did very well.
it's just a very important event, and it's an honor to have you with us.
Yeah, there weren't that many cicadas, and you didn't doze off fully.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I have said, and this is true, that you have
It's important to say, and this is true, when you're normally lying. It helps. I appreciate it. It's gentlemanly. It's like tapping Trump on the top of the head when you're ready.
key to the hearts of the people of Israel because of all the great things you've done for the Jewish state and the Jewish people. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Fantastic.
Is there an actual key? Because I gave you a physical key. I mean, it's a key party. That's right. Gag me with a splintery wooden spoon.
And we look forward to being outside. Yes, please.
We do. I mean, we do look forward to being outside. All of us. I mean, I think that's the COVID mantra.
This is a great event. This is a great event, and these are tremendous achievements. You know that Israel is getting a lot. What is Israel giving back?
This is the Israeli press that wants to chip away at this.
Oh, it's their fake news.
Well, I think what really Israel is getting, and what we're all getting, but what Israel is getting more than
Anything is $50 billion in military
anything else is
aid.
peace.
I was close. Oh, I was so close. It was peace. I thought I got it right.
Peace.
I thought I got it right. It is $50 billion in military hardware, but it's almost peace. I mean, it's basically peace. It's basically peace. You're right.
As you know, UAE, United Arab Emirates, is
Oh, I keep forgetting what that stands for. I always think it's the Underwear Association of Europe, and oh, thanks for reminding me, boss.
a great warring nation, a very powerful nation.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They make fake islands. They have a huge. I've been there. It's an industrial country. It's the Cayman Islands of the Middle East.
In the region, and they very much wanted to do this. Mohammed's a tremendous leader, like Bibi is a tremendous leader, and it was important to have them first, very early, and you know, the relationship.
Usually, I'm gonna. There is no earlier than first.
Is fantastic, and a lot of people are surprised to see it. And as you know, we have Bahrain, and we have many nations ready to follow. Many nations. I can't. No, not now. I won't. But you'll see. We'll be signing up other nations, and these are very strong agreements. These are very strong. This is really peace. This is serious peace. And
no.
So I think what Israel gets, the most important thing that they're getting by far is peace.
They did not have peace with the UAE and Bahrain already. As a matter of fact, the exact opposite is true, because it is ginning up resentment in other areas of more violent, like Yemen, Syrians, Iran, obviously, Iraq, ISIL, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Iraq, Jordan. They have a peace deal with them, I think, right? That's the oldest one. I mean, was it Jordan? It might. I always forget the names of the other guys in Backstreet Boys.
See the one in the white. The one in the white.
In the white. Go ahead.
Thank you. Bookhal from Channel 20. Is it possible to know which countries will be following the Emirates?
Well, we'll be.
Well, a bunch of them. They're just going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're very far down the road with about 5 countries, 5 additional countries. Frankly, I think we could have had them here today. We thought out of respect.
Hold on one second. Let's see. What can we do? Give me 1 second. I need to look up something real quick. Smallest nations in the Middle East. See if this actually comes up with anything. Quit it. Stop making that weird noise. Country. Sorry about that noise effect. It's supposed to be an effect on this thing, and it won't. I can't fix it. I can't make it go away. I know. That's terrible. All right, hold on. Check this out. Okay, so yeah, there it is. So Bahrain's the smallest. UAE is only slightly bigger than Israel. I'm gonna go with Kuwait, Qatar, and Lebanon are probably your next ones. And if they try to pull a like Kyrgyz Republic, Oman might be a possibility. That's it. That would be my guess. He's talking about maybe Tajikistan. No, I'm gonna go with Lebanon, Qatar, Kuwait, and Oman and the Kyrgyz Republic. I mean, Pakistan, really? I mean, I don't know that Pakistan doesn't have normalized relationships with Israel. I can't imagine it wouldn't. Although, I guess as a Muslim country, it might be on the fence about it, but not with the way he's leaning towards India these days, so I don't see that happening. I'm going to guess the next 3 are going to be the tiniest kingdoms, smaller than Israel, slightly larger than Bahrain. Yeah, that's my theory. Yeah. Lebanon ain't doing what? Sorry? Anything right now? They barely have a country. Right, yeah. So they'll give them, Biden's live in Florida? That's cool. I had this thing, Biden live in Florida. See if that comes up. No. Look at that. Fox News feed. That's weird. Go figure. That's the music. That's a party. Something going on right now. They're not there. They're not there yet. That sounds like the opening song from Jiminy Glick and Lala Wood, but it's not. I like the... I'm gonna get kicked off if I play that though. We'll come back to it. I'll mute it, and then I'll let it play. I don't know if it'll help or hurt what we're doing here. There we go.
UAE, they deserved it. And Bahrain came immediately after. They really wanted to do it. But
being the tiniest.
We'll have at least 5 or 6 countries coming along very quickly. And we're already talking to them. And they want to
Nice. Well, we're growing over there on YouTube. It's true.
They've been fighting for a long time. They're tired. They're warring countries, but they're tired. They're tired of fighting. And so you're going to be seeing further announcements.
That's my negotiating point. Exhaustion.
This is it's a very big day. I guess they said.
Whose comments am I reading? I've got a grouping of the chat.
So there were 2 countries over a 72-year period, and we did an additional 2, and these are great countries. We did an additional 2 in 1 month.
29 days.
But you're going to see a lot of very great activity. It's going to be peace in the Middle East.
It totally is. Oh, thanks, Nard.
Will you promote the F-35 deal even if it's all objective?
Say it.
Will you promote the F-35 deal even if it's all objective?
Yeah, we're gonna work that out. We'll work that out. That's going to be an easy thing. And we've fought with UAE 4 times, 4 different wars. They've been very, very loyal to us, and we have a better relationship with them now than we ever had in the past. In fact, in the past, it was very strained. We have a very good relationship with them.
It wasn't strained.
Yeah, all of that works out. That's going to be very easy to work out.
Which mobile app is on a 10-second delay to YouTube? Oh, that's it. Might be the internet and where it's coming from.
Israel feel less isolated today than they were this last week, and Mr. Prime Minister, maybe you can answer that question as well.
Well, I think Israel's not isolated anymore because I can tell you we have the 2 countries, plus you had an additional 2, as you know, from many, many years ago. And now you have
an additional 2 from many, many years ago. You mean, Jordan? All right.
Situation where many of the countries, and I can actually say most of the countries, but many of the countries in the Middle East want to sign this deal. And I think...
No, they don't.
When that happens, hopefully after the election, because I really believe Iran wants to make a deal. They've had a very tough time. Their GDP is down 27% because of the sanctions and all of the other things. And I don't want that to happen. I want Iran to be a great country, a great nation. I think that would be a wonderful thing. But I think, and I've even said that, I've said that to representatives of them, you should wait.
While they were talking in the Oval Office, the Gaza Strip was bombed. Oh, God.
The election first. There is nothing they or China or probably Russia would like better than to have Sleepy Joe Biden become the president. Because if Sleepy Joe won, they would own the United States, all of them. China would own the United States. So I told all of them.
Yeah, by the way, China's not owning anybody for a good long while. Everybody is trying to find ways to get their manufacturing out of there post-COVID.
Wait till after the election, but after the election, we have to make a better deal. I do say that. We're going to make a better deal.
Holly yesterday says, as you know means I just learned. Right. As you know, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. A lot of people don't know that.
But with Iran, they certainly should wait till after the election because, frankly,
Aberdeen,
if
Scotland,
Biden
where
wins,
Trump's
he'll
golf
make
club
a
is
much better.
losing so much money, it will probably close. Michael, without U.S. funds, without the support of U.S. taxpayers, bringing government employees there and parking them there so Trump can charge them retail, all of his properties would be in probate right now.
But I'm going to make a good deal with Iran. I'm going to make a deal that's great for Iran. It's going to get them back. We're going to help them in every way possible. And Iran will be very happy. Iran will be very rich and very quickly. But I think they should wait till after the...
Why? Because all Betsy DeVos's family can start selling on above the table what they've been selling under the table? On the table?
You understand what I mean by that? Because a dream for those countries would be Sleepy Joe.
Do you believe you will also broker a deal with the Palestinians?
Say?
Do you believe you will also broker a deal with the Palestinians?
Yeah, I think they come along, and they're already, obviously, we speak to them. They've come a long way. We used to pay them $750 million a year when I got here, and I said to people that negotiated with them before, why did you pay when they treat the United States with such disrespect? They speak so badly. Death to America, death to Israel. I said, we give them $750 million a year. I said, why didn't somebody cut off those payments? Well, we didn't think it would be appropriate. I said, well, I do. And I cut off the payments to them, as you know. But other countries give them money. You're dealing with very rich countries. And these countries are now all signing with us. They're all
We were giving them medical aid.
Signed with us, all of them. I spoke with
part of another group.
The King of Saudi Arabia. We had a great conversation. And I think positive things will happen there, too. He's a great gentleman.
Yeah, if enough people die in Iran, I mean, really, it's just land if they all go.
And the Crown Prince, we spoke with the Crown Prince. So we've made tremendous strides. And this is peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand. I say it.
I don't know what this blood all over the sand thing is.
Right now, it's been blood all over the sand for decades and decades and decades. That's all they do is they fight and kill people, and nobody gets anything. And this is strong peace, really strong peace. And it's a different way. We went in the back door, but I call it going in the very smart door.
I call it the smart door.
Different way. We went in the back door, but I call it going in the very smart door. We went in the smart door, and we're getting people.
Good word. Good. Say good word. Say smart door instead of back door.
And the Palestinians will absolutely be a member.
Don't say back door.
I don't say that with any.
It doesn't mean in the same. All right.
Bravado. I just tell you the Palestinians will be a member at the right time. At the right time.
Will they have a state of themselves and your peace?
We're working a deal. We are talking to the Palestinians. At the right time, they'll be joining too.
And as long as you're president, is annexation off the table? Is that something
We don't want to talk about that right now, but that's working out very well and very fair and very good for the people that are coming in and for Israel.
Wait, the people that are coming in, are they using the back door or the smart door? I just need to know where to leave my keys.
And again, Israel wants peace, and they're a great warring nation if they have to be. You see that. They have the best equipment, they have the best of everything, but they
especially now.
Want this. After all of these years, even Bibi gets tired of war. But they...
Why is that funny?
And, look, they're a strong nation, a strong power, a strong military nation.
It's ridiculous. Who would think that Bibi Netanyahu gets tired of killing people? But it's true. Sometimes it's just exhausting. He can't even finish his dessert.
They get on with their lives. Israel wants peace. They really want peace. And I give this gentleman a great deal of credit. He's done a great job.
Thank you. Mr. President, I heard a question from one of the people here. Does Israel feel isolated? Heck no. We're breaking out to the entire world because we have a strong free economy, because we have a strong military, because we have a strong relationship with the President of the United States and the American people.
Which you have always had?
And I can tell you that we have a strong relationship throughout the Middle East. The President intimated how many countries are waiting to join this circle.
The countries that you already have trade agreements with.
Peace. Israel doesn't feel isolated at all.
Yeah, because none of this is necessary.
Enjoying the greatest diplomatic triumph of its history. I think the people who feel isolated are the tyrants of Tehran because of the pressure that the president has applied on them.
Right. It might be because they have COVID. Let me see if have they gotten in there? Are they still running? I don't know. Are we behind on this one?
The resistance to this bad Iran deal, they are under pressure. And I hope they'll all come around. I hope everyone will come around to the circle of peace. But no, we don't feel isolated at all.
Because you're not.
Quite the contrary.
Quite the contrary, because you aren't.
I would say this, there's less isolation right now for Israel than there's ever been. I mean, today they would be less isolated than ever been. I want to just thank your great ambassador, Ron. Thank you very much. Thank you. How do you feel about isolation? I think you're starting to see the light, huh?
I can imagine what will happen when everyone's courting Israel if this is what isolation looks like.
No, it's good. We love Israel, and I'll tell you what, I have great respect for the countries that have stepped up so beautifully. And you're going to see that in a little while. We're having
Oh my God.
ceremony, and thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. And now I'm going to show you something I can do with this plane. Baby, you want to hold one cheek? So we'll jump to this one and go to that guy. Yeah, they still haven't come out yet. Although it is behind a little, so maybe pull forward if it reloads. Nope, they're going to go live there in a second. Find it. So I'll cut to me. We'll hang out for a second. Moon River. Whew. Does the plane have smart doors? Absolutely not. It has a back door and TVs in every closet and every bathroom. A gecko is quicker than this fool. That's true though. You know, geckos can zip along though. Grab them by the smart door. I want to see if let's see, President. Yeah. Smallest countries. I'm just shutting some windows so that I can, when this comes up, I can go to it. Thanks so much, and thank you guys for hanging out. By the way, it's you know, we've only got about 10 minutes left in the show, so we'll just grab a little bit of this at the tail end. And yeah, the Genius door. I have smart doors on my house. Yeah. Well, we had them on the other house. We don't have them on the new one yet because I haven't installed them yet. That's yet another thing that's on my honeydew list. Let's see. All right, I need to go to fact base. I think they'll probably have it. Yeah. Is Biden live? How is Biden going to combat communists and socialists? It's what the Cubans are voting on. Quit it. Not supposed to do that. Turn that off. Time being, I'll get it fixed. Time to switch over. Oh, they out? Are they there? Is that Ricky Martin? Look at that. Hold on. Oh, it's not on play. That's why.
We witness his crew.
Hold on.
Appreciate the congrats. But we have good news. Not only do we have the chance to defeat Donald Trump this November, we have a chance to elect a president who will rebuild America. A president we will be proud to call our commander-in-chief. That's because Joe Biden is a man of character. He believes his family and mine are more similar than different. He believes everyone has a place in this country.
Well, for the record, Ricky, yours is way prettier than like me or, oh, hold on, I didn't even show you guys. Like you can't say that. I mean, honestly, man, you're so handsome. I don't even know how to deal. It's impossible for me because you look so handsome. And I could not grow such a finely crafted beard in such a way. Nor does my hair have the turgidity that yours has. But I will say, you're a handsome man.
No matter where you were born, what you look like, or who you love.
That's lucky me.
Joe Biden is a president who is ready to protect all Puerto Ricans.
Thank you, Amy, for the donation. I'm supporting on Facebook, but I'd like to help you so you can buy bags of soup for your family. Oh, that's so nice. Hold on. We have to look at that. Hold on.
Soup for my family.
Thanks so much.
It doesn't matter if you live in Pennsylvania. It doesn't matter if you live in Florida. It doesn't matter if you live in the island, he's ready to work for us. A president who will respect the dignity of the Puerto Rican people. A president who has a plan
Yeah, go figure.
to provide relief from unsustainable debt that is holding our economy back. Who will listen to us whether we're protesting outside of La Fortaleza or we're demanding action from the White House.
La Fortaleza is so beautiful. The way he speaks is so much better than what we have been listening to all day.
That is exactly who Joe Biden is. With him as a president, we will always have a chair at the table.
Okay, why is Ricky Martin not doing children's books on tape? I'm just saying.
But before that happens, we have to make sure he wins. I'm going to ask you, almost beg you, to please. You have to go to voyavotar.com or iwillvote.com and register now. We have to do this for our children. We have to do this for the children of our children.
Now sing, please sing, because I might pass out.
You know, guys, I like to have fun. But this is really serious. These are the most important elections. These are the most important elections we've seen in this history of this country, and Puerto Ricans have the power to decide it. Us, Puerto Ricans, we have the power to decide.
And you might get 2 senators out of the deal. I'm just throwing this out there. If there's a Republican in office, there is no way Puerto Rico ever gets representation. DC, that's another question. That's another conversation. But Puerto Rico absolutely deserves as a territory to become a state and get 2 senators. I mean, come on.
And we will use that power in November. We have to make sure Joe Biden goes to the White House. I beg you, please, go to voyavotar.com or iwillvote.com and make a plan. Make a plan of what you're going to do that day. How are you going to get to the voting polls? But we have to do this. We have to change the course this country's going to. Thank you.
He's so very handsome, a beautiful
Hello,
man.
Florida.
Hello.
Today kicks off the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month, which is a way to celebrate Latino culture and to recognize our heritage, that no matter where you come from, our culture and heritage is engraved in America. Yet our community is reminded.
This is true. We will, because I've only got 5 minutes left. I'm going to come back to this. I appreciate you guys being here. This is the vision for peace that Trump was talking about, by the way, or that Jared talked about the other day, that this is all based on. I want to point something out to you. So the deal that's struck today is supposedly in line with this. It isn't. So it's a bold vision for peace. Understand? It's a bold vision for peace. This is basically written by Mike Pence during a fever dream. President Donald John Trump recognizes it's time for a new approach to achieve peace, security, dignity, and opportunity for Israel and the Palestinian people. The vision is the most serious, realistic, and detailed plan ever presented, one that can make Israelis, Palestinians, and the region safer and more prosperous. Diplomatic accomplishment. President Trump is bringing together Israeli political rivals in support of a detailed vision for peace and promoting the mutual recognition and independence. This vision produces a realistic 2-state solution offering a viable path to Palestinian statehood. Israel has now agreed to terms for a future Palestinian state. For a future Palestinian state. See how that works? Agreed to terms for a future Palestinian state. If, the entire leadership changes and they go to the land we give them. The vision aims to achieve mutual recognition of the state of Israel as the nation state of the Jewish people and the future state of Palestine as the nation state of the Palestinian people with equal civil rights for all citizens within each state. The vision creates, and I love how the vision is capitalized, creates a path for the Palestinian people to realize their legitimate aspirations for independence, self-governance, and national dignity. Under the vision, neither Palestinians nor Israelis will be uprooted from their homes. Okay, Well, I got news for you. The Palestinians are and have been stuck in the same spot for a long time. The Israelis are the ones who have moved into settlements, and this basically, by saying this means that the settlements aren't going anywhere. Yes, see? Israel's security. This vision takes into account the realities of the ground, on the ground and fully protects Israel's security. Over time, the Palestinians will work with the United States? With the United States? Where's the in this? Typo. This is the most complete vision ever, but the vision didn't have a proofreader. With the United States and Israel to assume more security responsibility as Israel reduces its security footprint. So basically, we'll have troops in there controlling the Palestinians so that the Israelis don't have to? Okay. The status quo at the Temple on the Mount will be preserved. The special historic role of King Jordan will with regard to the Muslim holy shrines in Jerusalem will be preserved. All Muslims will be welcome to peacefully visit Al-Aqsa Mosque. Which I'm fairly certain that's not true. I mean, not all Muslims, obviously. There will be, clearly, if you have a history of working with ISIS, you're not going to be brought in. But that's here. So here, listen, look at this part. The future state of Palestine. The vision delivers significant territorial expansion for Palestinians and designates land reasonably comparable in size to the West Bank and Gaza for the establishment of the state of Palestine. Okay. You know that house you had on the beach? Well, we're going to take it from you, but don't worry. You're going to get the same amount of land on the salt flats. Jerusalem will stay united and remain the capital of Israel, while the capital of the state of Palestine will be Al-Quds and included areas of East Jerusalem, which is basically the behind the wall. The vision map will be more than double the size of the land currently used by the Palestinians. Notice that? Double the size of the land currently used by the Palestinians. Meaning the map will include area that is already given to the Palestinians, but they will have no choice but to use it. Beyond territory, the vision provides for Palestinian use and management of facilities at the Haifa and Ashdod ports, Palestinian development of a resort area on the north shore of the Dead Sea, and continued Palestinian agricultural activity in the Jordan Valley. Great, so they won't have to stop the only, farming in the only farmland they have. Palestinian development of a resort area. Trump Tower, Al-Quds, is that what we're talking about? The Trump golf course at Al-Quds? The vision, and they, capitalizing it at the top of all these things is so gross. Proposes modern and efficient transportation links for easy travel and movement of goods through the future state of Palestine, including Gaza and the West Bank. The vision proposes modern and efficient transportation links for easy travel and movement of goods throughout the future state of Palestine, including Gaza and the West Bank. That doesn't mean the Palestinians can bring their stuff through Gaza and the West Bank, by the way. It just means that transportation from Gaza and the West Bank can go throughout the future state of Palestine. So they can ship stuff to the ports and the water down there, but they don't, And security for that will be provided by the United States. This vision will end the refugee status quo and help put the region on a truly transformative path, one with stability, security, and abundant opportunities for prosperity. The vision, combined with the peace to prosperity economic, will unlock potential for regional health. The vision incorporates the massive $50 billion peace to prosperity economic plan, which will spur the Palestinian economy, which I think goes through Israel. When properly implemented, the vision will create more than 1 million new jobs, more than double the Palestinian GDP, which is terrible. So it'll be, instead of their GDP is negative 23, so it will be negative 55. Reduce unemployment below 10%. Oh, and cut the poverty rate in half, because their standard for what the poverty rate is shite. It is what it is. Yeah, this is nonsense. And this is what his whole thing is based on. And this, like, they even say this in the thing. Historic. Excuse me for yawning. He said, it mentions it in there somewhere, like the UAE. There it is. And this is the full text of the statement they all signed. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs. And a lot of it is just, we're glad they could be here. This normalization of relations and peaceful diplomacy will bring together. This is the only part with movement in it. The UAE and Israel will immediately expand and accelerate cooperation regarding the treatment of and the development of a vaccine for the coronavirus. Working together, these efforts will help save Muslim, Jewish, and Christian lives throughout the region. What they were going to, instead of hoarding it, is the idea? Is the UAE getting there faster than Israel? Is that why this was necessary? Yeah, they're going to meet in the coming weeks to sign bilateral agreements regarding investment, tourism, direct flights, security, telecommunications, technology, energy, healthcare, culture, the environment, and the establishment of reciprocal embassies and other areas of mutual benefit. Bahui. Hold on one second.
That we are your farm workers who are putting food on your table. Farm workers have always been essential.
Yes, they have. She is right. She is absolutely right. These are, I mean, the chat on this is hilarious. Just vicious. All right, it's 5:05. I kept you guys way late. I will have some special treats for you tomorrow, specifically for the Wednesday show. 3 o'clock is our regular time, Pacific time. 3 to 5-ish. I think it's a little flubby. And I'm going to continue to fix the lighting so I don't disappear when I get too close to them. I'll figure this part of it out for you guys. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Thank you guys for joining me today. It's really an honor to be with you every single day, laughing through this and getting through it and having, you know, some semblance of the truth around what's going on. Okay? So we could pick this thing apart piece by piece, never let a lie slide, and address all of this stuff. And you guys have seen me that when Trump says, you know, even though he disdains our troops in other situations, when he says they're heroes, I will agree with that, because I agree with that. And when he says our cops deserve more respect, when he says, you know, like,
Michigan gave us Motown, gave us the Mustang.
I will agree with 2/3 of that. It's just how it works. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Hold on, and the nice thing about this is that I can actually, I think, it's in here. Right, there it is. I can actually get us going out the door, which is kind of fun. And hopefully I will smooth out the video. That's my next step, is getting the video I bring in smoother. If anybody has an idea for the best way to get YouTube videos live for commentary with smoothness, because the computer can handle it, the internet can handle it, I think it's just the software. I'm all ears, because I've been dicking around in the settings like crazy, and I'm trying to get it all up and running. So, we will, you know, Don't worry. A graphics card? It's not the graphics card because I do have a good graphics card. It's all outsourced. This graphics card. It's how the software I'm using to do the show takes the YouTube into it and dices it up. Oh, the tip jar. Thank you. Oh, I should. And look, it worked today. Instantly. Woke up. Look at that. I love midnight updates they don't tell you about.
Michigan gave us Motown. Gave us Motown. Gave us the Mustang.
Somebody like that can write good.
Bags of soup. Medicine and medical and what we're doing. Yosemites.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy.
Captain's log. Captain's log.
That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. People coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup.
That was really cool, by the way.
Something strange happened to me this morning. Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you? No. Why am I the only person that has that dream?
That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy.
I never thought anybody could forget so much so fast without a severe blow to the head.
It's good to be the king.
He's you real nice. If I didn't have puke breath, I'd kiss you.
I'd like to kick his ass just once.
I was thinking of the immortal words of Socrates, who said,
"You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid. You have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell."
I'm just a happy camper.
All I'm offering is the truth.
Groovy.